Brain Sync, and Marvel's CCO, Joe Quesada.
Ooh, I like that.
It's like you're up to
Ben.
bat, right? I was working on that
How's it going, guys?
just for you, sir.
It's great. How's it going for you? You're a busy man. This is
Yeah, you know, it's New York Con, but it's not to be busy about. It's just it rocks, and just got out of Cup of Joe a little while ago.
what
Great
can
panel.
you tell us?
You know, you had
All
to
the
be there. You
secrets.
had to be there.
Well, you can go check out the live blog of
Absolutely,
it also at
absolutely.
marvel.com/NYCC 2016. But can you give us some little hints at what they might see there in the live blog?
I think the project that really sort of hits home with me is we started talking about Medaya Mom, which is a project we're doing in conjunction with ABC News and Dan Silver from ABC News, and it was just nice to have somebody who won an Emmy like on the dais, and you know, it was kind of cool. So it's an amazing project, and you know, look into it. It's free. It's digital. You can see it on marvel.com. You can catch it on abcnews.com. It's an amazing story, true story.
Yeah, we got to talk with Dan Silver a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And I mean, just the artwork is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Their work is gorgeous. So also, I think not everybody realizes, because you're such an important guy, that
not really.
they don't
It's
always
okay.
know about.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
The newer fans may not know what amazing art you do, and we have some new art, right, that we can show off maybe
Oh,
here?
okay.
Thank
I
you,
guess-
the lovely Blake Garris.
The lovely
everyone.
Blake
Wow,
Garris.
is that signed by the whole cast? That is an Iron Fist poster signed by the whole cast.
I
Look
hope
at that.
nothing happens to it.
That belongs. Who does it belong to? That belongs to you. Okay. Let's give that back. Let's give that back. So
So how long did that piece take you?
it didn't take me that long actually. What took long? You say good?
I said really.
Oh, they said good. I said good.
That's good, Joe. That's good. Keep working.
No, I did about maybe 6 to 8 like pretty well rendered sketches just to try to get the right gesture, the right pose, and I submitted those, you know, all to our marketing guys, Netflix and stuff, and they picked my favorite anyway. So as it turns out, it was, you know, exercise of futility, because the one I wanted was the one that they got. But yeah, so that's what takes. The thing for me is always, it's less about the execution of the final piece, but all the stuff that goes behind the scenes that people don't really get to see, like the waste paper basket or digital waste paper basket, full of rejected sketches and poor anatomy.
So you get to see everything.
Just about.
Just about.
Yeah.
What is it
I know what
like?
you had for breakfast.
Really?
It's not that exciting.
I see everything.
You are close to the Infinity
You really
Gauntlet.
need to get more protein in your
I
diet.
know,
okay.
we've talked about this before. I love sugar.
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
But you get to see a lot of things
Yeah.
that come in before anybody knows about them. What has been some of the things we know about now that have
Yeah.
been the hardest to sort of keep quiet?
You know, well, you're actually going to see some of this stuff later today.
Ooh.
It will hit the net. That is that is arguably the hardest part about my new role at Marvel. When I was editor in chief, you know, I was running a division, and the lead time in comics is about 3 months, so it's
Right.
easier. And because it's my division, I feel okay teasing just enough or too little. Now that I'm working across a lot of other divisions, and these things have, like, you know, a year, 2-year lead time, it's really a lot of like, just got to keep quiet and just have to let it come out. And sometimes you'll hear fans, you know, complain about something or want something, and I know it's going to happen. I know they're going to get what they want, but I can't say it. So I have to just sit there and go, wouldn't that be great? It's fantastic, yeah.
You had to sit on that "I told you so" for so long.
No, it's not even that I told you so. It's just a
Reassurance.
I wish I could
Yeah.
tell them, but yeah, you know, we're on it. We're on it.
I love it.
Going back to Iron Fist for
Yeah.
a sec. One of the beautiful things about what's happening with Marvel TV and movies today is so many characters from the catalog are getting their chance, their spotlight, and we all have different relationships with different characters. What's your relationship to Iron Fist the character? What do you dig about him? What did maybe you not get about him? How do you feel?
No, I mean, I love the character. I can't say that I don't really have a history with the character like I do with Daredevil. I didn't really work on any Iron Fist projects. As a matter of fact, I think this poster may be the first time I've actually drawn the character. I think so. But as a kid, I remember, you know, reading the comics and digging the character and thinking it was a cool take on the whole sort of martial arts craze that was happening at that time. And it's a really interesting concept and just the idea. Because I said this at the Cup of Joe. We had someone who was asking about how much real world science do we work into our stories, and she was asking about comics, but I also talked about it from like the Netflix point of view, where when we discuss the sort of the special stuff of the Marvel Universe, whether it's a superpower or something that may appear magical, we want to come at it from a science base. So rather than sit there and say, what does someone have to do in order to have enough power to focus into their chi to punch through a brick wall? We ask the question in a different manner, which is, we have a character who could focus his power into his chi, into his fist, and punch through a brick wall. So we'll ask a scientist or a physicist and say, if someone could do that, if they really, not how can you do that, but if someone could do that, how would it be possible? So you sort of reverse engineer it. And then, you start thinking about it in a different way. And we get some really great answers. And then in a lot of ways, it may be bogus science because it's not physically possible, but in the world of probability. And you add that to the shows, and I think it adds, because Marvel's very grounded in the real world, and it adds that element of reality, whether it's faux or not, to the stories, and I think it just enhances them so that things aren't it's just magic, That's a very tough thing for us even to justify, when we start making these shows, and even the comics, its magic doesn't necessarily fly, at least in this generation of Marvel.
Yeah, I love that. And, I want to take us back just a couple of weeks. Marvel's Luke Cage, enormously popular.
Yes.
It's a wonderful show. And You heard?
I heard it broke Netflix.
Yeah, we broke the internet.
I'm not saying it broke Netflix. I'm not saying.
No.
People are saying.
Netflix.
I've heard people saying.
Netflix is
but
tough to
not
break.
me.
And I also think something that's so amazing about it is I think it's one of the most socially relevant shows that's on television right now. Where did you sort of come up with the idea behind letting the show go to those interesting places?
It starts with our showrunner and our writers' room, and Cheo Coker is just a brilliant writer, and he's so in tune to not just obviously black culture, but modern culture and music. And I mean, the way he approached the show was story, it was character, it was music. I mean, he had it all in his head and could hear it and describe it, and he just brought that to the table, and then writers' room, just brings it to life. And then of course we have an incredible cast, incredible directors, and so it's when you do it right, it's just it's sort of an alchemy, right? It's like it's just. In this case, it's kind of like magic, right? Because you never know.
Well, I think there's a science behind it. You never like to say it's just magic.
No, but we try. The thing is, like anything, you try to have it a science behind it, right? But you never know if everything's going to click, and that's where the magic happens. Yeah. And if it clicks, it's successful. If it doesn't click, then you're like, it's missing an authenticity. It doesn't feel, or it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel Marvel. It doesn't feel, and so our goal is hopefully to be right more often than we're wrong. And in a case like Luke Cage, our television guys did a great job, and it feels right.
Yeah.
We still got a couple more months left in 2016. I know there's some big stuff coming from the publishing realm still. But looking ahead to 2017 across all the brands, what are you most excited about?
Wow. In publishing, I mean, you just had Nick Spencer on here, and he's got some big stuff. Charles Soule pitched some wonderful sort of street level Daredevil stuff that's coming up. There's a lot. I mean, there really is a lot, and I'm just enjoying watching Bendis get back to Jessica Jones.
So good.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
So there's just so much stuff coming up that it's hard to pinpoint one, but again. There's always something at Marvel that excites me because we have so many different characters, and if it's not just in publishing, we obviously have the TV world, and we're doing a lot of other sort of very secret initiatives that nobody knows about yet, that you may see next year, or you may not see until the following year. And this is my frustration. We come around full circle, right? I really can't talk about it.
Gosh, you have. I mean, honestly, what we started. Even when I started a few years ago. We have branched out so much.
Yeah.
We had Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
We're all very tired.
and even animation has grown. We have several shows now. There's a feature film. I mean, at what point do you have to turn into multiple man and become many people?
It should have happened a while ago. It really should have happened a while ago. That's. But I think that's also one of the tough things about working at Marvel is that we're all multitasking. You guys, all you guys understand that, right? But the beauty of it also is that we're allowed to be wildly creative, and we get the opportunity to work with all these great characters and to exercise our creativity across these characters, and to take on new challenges. Like if you had asked me 10 years ago, or tell me that I would be in the television business and working on television, I would have never have imagined it in a million years. And yet here we are. So it allows someone like me to exercise different creative muscles and do different things. And from there, I mean, there's other things that I'm going to be doing as well for Marvel that I can't talk about that will allow me to exercise other creative muscles. And I think for a lot of us, there's so much of that, and sometimes it doesn't feel like work, even though we're tired.
I love that.
It's hard to put it better. Thanks, Joe, for coming on. Thanks for taking
guys.
the time to talk to us.
Let's do this again next year.
Absolutely.
great.
That's a date. Guys, we're going to be back talking to the folks at Booking.com in just a second on Marvel Live.